Iran with a 1-0 lead in its dual meet here against the United States at Grand Central Terminal in New York City. Ready for our next bout in this duel. Reese Humphrey of the United States from Columbus, Ohio, two-time U.S. Open champion, will be matched up with Mas'ud Ismail Pour, 7th at last summer's Olympics, and also a victor at this year's World Cup, which was held in February at home in Tehran. 60 kilograms, 132 pounds for these wrestlers.
And Reese, again, another American not having the most experience internationally, and that's where, you know, the Iranians having the experience of wrestling on the Olympic level and having the experience of being at the Olympic Games maybe numerous times is such an advantage when you're putting yourself in a situation where, you know, you're out there, you're in the Olympic Games, or you're here in New York City with the world watching. It's a lot of pressure on an athlete, and so you may see sometimes where people are a little bit nervous, a little bit timid, and I think both athletes are definitely putting it up. Reese kind of got a little bit of a hip toss, no point score. That can slow you down and really confuse you a little bit if you're not ready for it.
Now Humphrey, again, winning that second U.S. Open title this year, won in 2011 and 2013, but lost a three-man wrestle-off here in Times Square last year to decide the final United States Olympic spot, which happened to be at this weight class. So he watched his fellow competitors from the U.S. compete in London and had to bide his time again for another world-level event this year.
And Mas'ud looking for a one-point push-out, controlling the underhook and then controlling the far side arm. And, the referee saying, Reese, keep your head up. America, keep your head up. So much of it's leverage. There's so many opportunities that a wrestler will have a few favorite positions where they'll like to go back to over and over again. The underhook position, that's typically more of a Greco position, but trying to get the same side underhook and then the opposite side arm, drive him to the edge of the mat and find a way to push. This could be a throw-in opportunity for Reese. It's a potential body lock. He's going to have to step his hips around.
On the edge, time winding down, and Ismail Pour able to pick up a point.
That was so close, coming down to, which athlete puts their hand out of bounds first, and that's where, Humphrey tried to jump over top and tried to stay out of there, but he was the first one to make contact with the out of bounds, the blue part of the mat.
So it counts as a push out, and it's good enough for the Iranian to grab.
You can see, Mas'ud going all the way down to his hands and knees, looking for the one-point push out. And Mas'ud, as he put his left hand down there, it was so close to being out of bounds, but he knew exactly where he was on the mat and getting the leverage to get underneath and to be able to push Humphrey all the way to the edge and get the one-point push out. That's a big point to start off this the first period and ultimately to win that first period.
So 1 period and unlead for Ismail Pour. Humphrey wrestling like a lot of high-level wrestlers, passed down from generation to generation. His dad, world silver medalist, 1988 U.S. Olympic coach Jim Humphrey. And Reese following in his dad's footsteps at high-level international competition. And Iran again striking first here in the second period. Now the point on the takedown for Ismail Pour.
What they're looking for, they were actually calling for a second point. They didn't award it, so they got the 1 point for the takedown, and that's where Humphrey got a little bit behind. And again, that's where Mas'ud with the 1 point takedown got Humphrey's head down, took him down for the 1 point, now putting the leg right in, tried to go to a leg ride to a turn, now up to a gut wrench, up to a 1 point hand-to-hand. Then the 2 point gut wrench just could be over quick if Humphrey doesn't get control.
And that's it. It'll be a major decision in the period for Ismail Pour, taking down Reese Humphrey. Well, if up by 6 or more points in a period, the period is stopped and the winner is declared. And with his second period win, it's the match win for Mas'ud Ismail Pour of Iran. 2-0 lead for the visitors.